This with Lisboa is crazy, and we'll get into the build and we'll explain why in a moment, and you'll probably find out why as well. So let me put the build viewer back up. All right, here's the build for Libertad. You absolutely build this ship secondaries. This is like the Schlieffen, where you build secondary, 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 secondary. Everything you can, secondaries goes, except for just a couple of tweaks. So let's get into this. Auxiliary armament mod 1. Damage control, secondary mod 1, steering gears, concealment, and auxiliary mod 2. That's fine. These are battleships, but if I remember right, Grunty, you can help me out on this. The armor scheme isn't the strongest, correct?
I'm actually not sure about the tier 10 and 9 on the armor scheme.
Okay.
I think it's okay. The main problem, like, it has rather low hit points, so that's where it loses on tankiness. The armor, I don't know. Like, it's 32 millimeter platings, like not 27 or something.
Okay.
But I don't know how strong it actually is.
So the reason I'm bringing that up, you can see there's no ability to take propulsion, because I think propulsion is baked into these. So if that's the case, rudder shift time helps with you angling your ship to avoid, taking citadels or torpedoes as you're charging in. You can go steering gears. The other option, of course, is to go damage control mod 2. It comes down to what you find yourself dying to. Do you find yourself dying to torps and, being slapped by battleships? If so, steering gears. Do you find yourself burning and or flooding to death? If so, damage control mod 2. You've got concealment, and then you've got, obviously, auxiliary mod in slot 6. Your concealment is 14.4 without. Interesting that you don't have. I just want to see. With concealment expert, it goes down to 13. Why is that important? Because your secondaries get out to 12.5. Just like the Schlieffen, where if you get spotted, your secondaries are pretty much going to start shooting. But you didn't do that. You went for emergency repair expert instead. You said this is a potential damage build. Okay, and let's put on Lisboa here. Lisboa gets a special boost to brisk, so instead of 10%, it's 12.5% speed. This is why concealment works so well with brisk. It allows you to, one, run away from trouble once you go dark. It also allows you to run into areas and start getting your secondaries going as soon as you want them to go. The idea is to get potential for quicker and extra heal, plus chaining F keys. I understand that, but as I talked about earlier, I think you're better off relying on doing damage than potential damage to get that F key higher.
I like the potential damage thing. I don't mind it. I just think, like, if you taking both of the potential extra heals here with these skills, I don't think you have a hit point pool to support this, especially if you're brawling. I think you die before you get your, 6 heal off.
Right. That's the thing with IRR and this.
And not both.
Yep. We've talked about this before. IRR is a bit of a trap here, because a lot of people do this and say, I want an extra heal. Great. But the value in this is twofold. One is, as you take potential damage, then your repair party cools down quicker. A lot of people forget about that. But the other one, of course, is you get an extra charge. And Grundy's absolutely correct. By the time you proc that extra charge, it's mostly meaningless anyways, because you've taken enough AP hits, torpedo hits, citadel hits, that you're not repairing fully anyways. So definitely diminishing returns there.
I think I would actually take the improved repair party readiness over the emergency. I think you get the 2 millions rather reliably in the ship if you're brawling. And the extra charge of the readiness has one advantage. It bypasses the cooldown. So if you use your last heal and it just ran out, and you have no more heals left, and then you get the 2 million potential damage and get the extra heal, you can use it right away.
Okay. That comes in extremely handy. I agree with you there. And I was going to mention, with this particular build, I would literally drop emergency repair and swap it over for concealment.
I would do the same, honestly. I would probably change my 1-point skill, one of them. Because, like, it's a 419 millimeter battleship. I think there will be situations where you will be forced to shoot HE, and I think I would like the gun feeder here instead of
You'd probably drop emergency repair specialists to do that because you want your secondaries to live.
But that's like
personal preference,
I guess.
Yep. I agree with you there. As Hujam mentioned, if you're not going to go concealment, there's really not a point to go into brisk. If that's the case, I'd probably go for priority target. I like priority target because I like to know how many people are targeting me. And in this instance, I would probably lean into fire prevention then, so that I don't take 4 fires, I take a max of 3. So that's probably how I would look at this. You don't care about consumable prep time. Um, yes, he's using the special captain Hujam, which is why he's going for brisk. So if you're going for brisk, you definitely want concealment.
Yeah, I would take the concealment, and I would think to mitigate a little bit of the damage, I would go with the damage control mod. You don't have the basic survivability, you only have the flag, so reducing the fire duration a bit more is very well. No,
Oh,
in
you're
four
talking about in
slots.
slot 4 here.
Yeah, because your rudder
Okay.
shift on this ship is actually for whatever reason really good already.
10
Like,
seconds rudder shift time. Now, my rule for battleships is 15. I want it under 15. So
yeah, you
let's
have
take a
like
look.
13 or something. I don't know.
It's 13 and a half. So
Yeah,
13 and a
it's
half
really
isn't bad.
good.
Yeah, that's actually pretty darn good. So yeah, I agree with Grunty here. I think I might go for this. This gives you a little bit of extra fire prevention kind of built into it, if you will, if you think about it. That makes you tankier. Um, and this is okay. I think this is fine. The alternative would be to drop both of these and pick up emergency repair or pick up fire prevention. One of
Yeah,
those
that's
two.
right. That's the last point where you basically choose. Do you
Yep.
want fire prevention or do you want extra heal? And if you want the extra heal, which one of the ones do you want?
Right. So we kind of skipped ahead and started talking about, yeah, those are the two builds exactly. So we've kind of talked about the build, but we didn't talk about the captain's skills and why they're necessary. So on the very top right, preventative maintenance on a secondary armed battleship is very important because it helps keep your secondaries and anti-air alive. Okay. Also, it helps reduce the risk of modules like your engines and your rudder and your main battery becoming incapacitated. So it comes in very handy to run preventative maintenance. We talked about brisk already. Emergency repair is only 3%. It's not that big of a deal, but when combined with the consumables from November to Foxtrot, it does help get your cooldown a little bit quicker, and it kind of does work well with improved repair party readiness. It kind of synergizes with the repair party consumable cooldown time as well.
This is like if you went for this 3 point skill heal, the emergency repair expert is basically your 21st point. It's the last
Yep,
thing you take.
yep, yep, exactly.
It's a
Um,
leftover point in the end.
if you're not running the special captain, then you probably can get away with not running brisk here. I mean, brisk is still handy on these ships, but if you're not running the special captain, maybe you consider something else. You probably don't want IFHE on these. What are the secondaries? Let's take a look. Your 234s definitely don't need IFHE because they will pen. Where is it?
They have quarter pen.
59
They pen
millimeter.
59 millimeters. It's
Yeah,
completely wasted there.
yeah.
And the
Just for the lulls.
127s only go up to 26, so it doesn't do really much there either.
Right. Right. And then so your 127s, generally speaking, IFHE doesn't help. If 1/4 HE pen was applied to these, then it might be a different discussion. The choice for this ship is: do you want fire prevention or the extra 10% heal because you have a big heal? Okay.
I would still take the brisk as 2 point skill even without the commander, just because the concealment of these ships is so good
Yeah.
and they're already really, really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And the turret traverse isn't bad. It's pretty good, so grease the gears is not necessary.
Yep.
I guess you can make the argument if you really want the priority target, you take the priority target, but I think brisk is better.
With the special captain, you absolutely go brisk. Without it, personally, I might go priority target. But again, it's a personal choice, and I think that's important about this game is you have choices. Please just don't choose all one pointers, okay? And then go from there. You also have adrenaline rush. That's a mainstay for just about every ship out there. You go adrenaline rush usually. You've got secondary enhancement and of course secondary aiming because yeah, everything's secondaries, right? Your secondaries out to 12 and a half with the flag and just profit. Now, I will mention this. I'm looking at your signals. You've got anti-det, you've got fire and flood chance, fire reduction, heal boosting, secondaries, anti-air, and consumables. In my opinion, you are missing two really important flags. I would not run the fire chance flags. I don't think you need them. I
No,
mean,
you
yes,
really don't.
you're gonna get a, you're giving up maybe one, maybe two fires in the course of the entire game. Will that have an impact? Probably not as much as having 5% faster ship speed. Like, you've got brisk. Why don't you do this to go even faster for even more ridiculousness? Like, to me, this is a no-brainer, going Sierra Mike. And then the final one, because you're going to be in close quarters so much, you can choose between flood recovery or ramming.
Actually, I think you take both, and you drop the AA flag because this AA on the ship is not worth a thing.
That's
So
fair.
5% extra from nothing is nothing.
That's a good
drop
point.
that.
That's a good point. So drop anti-air and then do this. If you're going to use 8 flags, make sure they're the most optimal for you. And I think this is better. Get in there faster, ram a thing if you have to, and take less flooding damage. I think this is perfect. Now, we didn't talk about the skills and talents for Lisboa and why he's so redonkulous on this ship. So let's talk about that for a second, okay? Now, we've got the brisk here. Does he get a special bonus to manual? What is this? No, that's just, okay, that's just saying that we're putting that on. Same thing with that. Okay, here we go. So, he's got Master and Commander. This fills his combat instructions progress after there's activated twice. So you use combat instructions twice, and then boom, all of the sudden, you automatically start at 20 instead of 0. And this is in effect until the end of the battle. Also, you get faster too, because why not? So you use your combat instructions twice, and you are, like, you can just keep on using combat instructions that much quicker because you're at 20 instead of 0. So, huge. And then the other one, this is kind of like a miniature Lutyen's idea. You hit enough, you hit 175 times with main and secondary battery shells. That the and is the important part here. The and is the important part here. And then you get a buff to your secondary battery reload time and also your main battery, but you really care about your secondaries. So, like, this synergizes so well, right? Because it's like you activate this, and your secondaries fire quicker, which helps you to fill up your combat instructions quicker with your main battery. And when you do use your combat instructions, this is a second buff to your reload in addition to the combat instructions.
It's actually better than Lutyen's for this particular line because the secondary buff is bigger. Sure, it takes maybe a bit longer to activate compared to Lutyen's, but the benefit you get is much better.
Agreed. So, y'all, if you get Libertad, slap Lisboa on it. Okay, just do it. I have my Lisboa on the tier 8 because I'm not paying doubloons or whatever it is to go up the tree to get to the Los Andes. And to be blatantly obvious, this line is so just stupid fun anyways. I actually want to grind it. I actually want to take it into ranked and do stupid things with the Los Andes because I've already ground enough XP to get to that when the line gets released. You didn't get the super special?
My anniversary tokens on the commander just to put on this line because the combination is
that good.
So broken, overpowered. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. He's that good. And I wouldn't be surprised if Wargaming nerfs Libertad or the commander at some point. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hands down. But anyways, if you didn't get Lisboa, you will have another opportunity to get him. It's just going to be a while before he comes back in.
Yeah, who knows when.
So, anyways, let's get into the game now. We've been talking for a bit. This is a mixed tier game. You are top tier, and there are 8s, no carriers, and no subs to deal with. So this is kind of an ideal matchmaking for you, because both of those can ruin your day very easily. You've got a La Pampa, which I believe is a test ship, so we're not going to talk about the characteristics of that ship. This is silver?
I was right.
Okay. It's really hard to tell with the with the lighting. So, whatever.
But why, Croc? Why the silver rank camo instead of the beautiful, beautiful early access camo?
We'll find out. So this is a hotspot, and you are just going straight in. I mean, you might as well.
The only problem I have, like, I like that if he's not going in, I like that. Because, like, going into these island chains here opens you up to getting ambushed. Like, both of these enemy destroyers are heavily torpedo boats. And as long as I don't know where they are, I wouldn't feel comfortable going in there.
Okay, sure. I like how you said you were tempted to run the awful black pinata camo. I mean, it kind of makes sense because you are, you know, you're playing a Pan-American ship. So I could see the connection there culturally. I am with Grunty. You definitely don't want to go into the islands yet. You don't have hydro, things that can help you. And you also don't have the Trump nearby to support you either. Kind of wish it would not be activated by the F key. That's true. He is not as effective on the Atlantico as a result. Right. DSNF2. What's up, Electric? How's it going?
The thing is, though, for the Atlantico, you actually want a different captain build anyway.
Yep. Look at all these people reading chat. If you didn't notice, there's a giveaway up. Say stuff in chat and be a follower. Make sure you're a follower first. Ooh, this Auckland. So, you know, the nice thing about the combat instructions is even if you, like, bounce, that's still considered a hit. So it doesn't matter. Or you shatter or whatever. Hey, Note. Note. Smile Crow's here, too.
Look at that. 2,200 damage from a secondary hit.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's 6 inches of pain right there.
No. That was a 234. That's way more than 6 inches.
Oh, that's true. That's 8 and like a half or something. Ooh, nice citadel there on the North Carolina. You thought it was proximity? Nope.
The only thing you have to really pay attention here with combat extraction ships is, like, make sure that if you build it up like this, that you get a chance to actually activate
Use
it,
it.
not have it fall off.
So, for example, he could use it right now. I probably would just so I can get things going quicker for the next activation.
It's always a tricky thing for me, like, do I want to have my secondary skill get shooting for a while so the accuracy gets better before I activate it, or do I want to activate it right away so I can profit from all the buffs, like the better range, better reload and stuff?
I think if I'm not using the special commander, if I'm not using Lisboa, then it's probably let your secondary accuracy improve, then use it. But if you're using Lisboa, I think you're better off just spamming the secondaries as quickly as you can. Because the sooner you get these 2 combat instructions done, the sooner that buff applies. And also, because your secondaries are firing more rapidly, the sooner you buff his other talent as well. So they all just synergize so well, and that's what makes the ship ridiculous.
Yeah, it's true.
I'd click on the Auckland here just to get it out. Oh, right through the island.
But you notice, like, despite having the range on this battleship at the border here, like, he didn't get many hits without the accuracy being homed in yet. So
this is true. Well, now he's at full accuracy at this point. Now, a Bawa battleship is actually the perfect thing that you want in a Libertad early, because you can just get shell hits on it and charge up your funny button. And then you let your secondaries just tear them up anyway. Heal time. You are almost 900,000 damage potential. There you go. There's your funny button. He's using his funny button.
And he's dead. Probably. Oh, that's a Wall of La Pampa skill.
There's another Citadel. And there's...
not shooting your gun?
I think he just figured let the secondaries finish it. There's the hits. Ship speed increased.
6 minutes.
Wow, indeed, famous. Hey, look, a ship in front of you.
Yeah, this ship is really silly. Like, if you're facing a Libertad, you gotta focus it down quickly.
And you gotta stay out of secondary. I don't like that you're charging this destroyer in smoke, by the way. I mean, the Riga, who cares? I don't care about him either. And there's your other proc. At 6.5 minutes.
The Pampa has 3 triple launchers, like three quintuple launchers of torpedoes, so...
My god.
And it has a reload booster for them too. So charging that ship is dangerous. Thank God he missed.
That was a hell of a whiff. That was one hell of a whiff. And the nice thing too is that that's all potential damage. Oh, you went dark. Control click on him. Control click on him. Whoa! Oh, activate the secondaries. Intensify forward batteries.
See, I wouldn't have activated it here.
I would have. Get him out before he can possibly do anything else to me.
I mean, he was dead.
Yeah, but you know what? How many times have you died to a destroyer just getting those last rack of torps off right before you shot and killed them? Don't risk it. I'm completely with Grunk on this one. Overkill, best kill, yes. There will be more opportunities. And see now, because he's got the proc, you can see he's at 20% already.
You could have been full.
How fast are you going? You're 33, 37. I notice you like to wiggle about a bit, so. Commercial break.
So, I'm gonna look up how fast the ship actually can go with this proc active and if you had everything on it.
It's poor Yumihari. Hey, Irimios, how are you? Happy Sunday, man. Welcome on in.
So, with Brisk active, and the buff Brisk from the commander, plus the activation of the talent, plus speed flag, etc. The ship can go 37.2 knots.
Sounds about right.
Battleship without a speed boost.
Totally nothing broken there. I don't like that you shot the Yumihari after losing sight of him. I might have waited a bit. Note you haven't procced your extra heal yet. And you are using the other one that gives you the extra heal too. So if you didn't have that, you'd only have 1 heal right now. There's the next. Now this, I think it might be a little bit too early here. I think I might have held this charge. You charged it up, great. Enjoy it because, you know, you can get another one off in a little bit. I agreed with your use of it against the destroyer at close range. I completely disagree with your use of it now. Also, just go straight into B and flip your guns right. This is your chance to just yeet on in and have fun. You didn't trust them to finish?
Honestly, with the ship running away like this, I wouldn't trust my secondaries to kill that at that distance either, though.
I honestly, I don't... With all due respect, it's a Yumihari. What are you afraid of? Like, you know what I mean? It's just... It doesn't freaking matter, you know? Like, you're almost better off letting him live so that you can just keep farming secondary hits on him. Uh-oh, somebody disconnected the Edinburgh. Broadside Des Moines. Ooh, Worcester. See, this is why I would have headed south, because it looks like the entire enemy team is heading south. Now, it says your concealment is 13, which is weird, because I could have sworn we said you weren't using concealment expert.
Thunderstorm front.
Oh, you're right. See, so that gives you a taste of what concealment expert would do for you. And if it's a thunderstorm, it's even... Oh my god, if it's a thunderstorm, that means you can stealth secondary, doesn't it?
I don't know how this interaction works. I thought that your
Did they change it so your...
your detection should bloom out to your secondary shooting range.
I think,
But
yeah,
I don't know if that
that.
works in a thunderstorm. So now you get the 2
look.
million.
You have a friend in front of you. Yep, there's the 2... No, you're not at 2 million just yet, but you're going to get it here with this Kurfürst. He's going to give it to you right now. Because he shot you in the face instead of on the side. There's your heal. Right, but I mean, if you're sitting in the thunderstorm front and, like, you know, you can see somebody, kind of a deal. I would... Never mind. Booster's kind of on the edge of your secondary range.
Yeah, this is where I would like to have the gun feeder, and I'd probably switch to HE.
Yeah. He'll die pretty quick anyway.
He will.
Kurfürst is indeed a bigger threat, yes. You did miss your replay, Big O. I like how you're, like, kind of conserving your shots there. Silly Kurfürst. Kurfürst is indeed a physically bigger threat, but, you know, whatever. I look at it as you can be secondary hitting the Worcester while you're, you know, still secondary hitting the Kurfürst because he's so damn close it doesn't matter. Oh look, heal time. Now, let's see if you needed this final heal.
I mean, he can probably use it when he takes a bit more damage. But the question is, will he even take the damage? Like,
That's what I mean. Let's find out.
I think he'd be fine without that 6 heal, even if he has something to potentially heal back.
I would not have DCP'd that one fire. I would have gone straight in. As soon as you got radared, I would have gone straight into this island here and just let it burn until the Worcester can't shoot at you. Then I would have DCP'd that fire. But fortunately for you, he's running away from the island, so your secondaries can hit him. Which is hilarious. So, just for good measure, here's your last heal. Reinforced sector on the planes. You get a kill. If you get a plane kill, that's more XP. Yeah, you messed up there. No worries. This ship's just a little nutty.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I still think like the last heal completely unnecessary. You brought a lot. You're probably not gonna have a game where you get shot more with more damage that you can repair.
Yep.
Where it actually matters.
Yep. And that's why I'm saying I think you know, do one or the both skills that get you the extra heal, and I think IRR is the better choice, and then just go with concealment instead of the other one on the bottom.
Like if your armor was better, or you had more hit points, where you could use the heal a bit more, then I would say yes. But the ship is too soft, as weird as it sounds.
Yeah. So you got Dread.
6 heal.
Right. So you got Dreadnought, High Caliber, Kraken, 4 close quarters experts, and a Confederate. So 4 out of your 5 kills came from secondaries, which is what you'd expect. Look at this base XP. Look at this base XP. Mathematically, you are just barely under 2 times the best XP for your second base XP player. That's wow. And you got 7 kills. How many secondary hits did you get? 337.
Yeah, if you compare this with like, I guess the Schlieffen probably gets the same, yeah, same amount of direct damage, but it needs many more hits for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we just divide like the damage he did with it by the hits, it's crazy how much on average each hit did.
Right. Should have been 8 or 9. Whatever. I mean, this
Just
is
been
still
8 or 9.
ridiculous.
You should have been dead to that La Pampa that somehow panicked, and with
Yeah.
15 torpedoes right next to you.
Yeah. Not only did he buff your potential because of all those torpedoes, but then he also buffed you by dying. So, like T-pose your way through. I mean, that was ridiculous, dude. That was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you spotted 30 torpedoes.
Yeah.
So, that definitely helps your potential. There are games where like I'm trying to get potential damage in like cruisers, and I'm literally hunting torpedoes so I can dodge them and get the potential damage. Sadly, you didn't have any boosters going. Well, you did have the credits booster. And I suppose you don't need command. Well, Commander XP would still be useful. You did have
he
that.
Has a yeah.
Yeah.
Why you need a ship XP booster to do that?
Now, did you have a free XP? You did have free XP. Okay. Interesting. So you just didn't have the regular ship XP, which makes sense. It's tier 10. So let's take a look at the replay render. Here we go. Where are you? There you are. Just a wild game, man. Just a wild game. Guys, I think Nutty just. I think that's got to be the title. I think that's got to be the title. I don't know what else we can do with it, you know?
What happened to your Svea there at the start? Jeez, he lost all his hit points.
Turned broadside in front of North Carolina. Or La Pampa Torps. I didn't catch it myself, but, you know. Juggernaut could work, too. Is it raining outside? Yes, it is. Cool. So yeah, I mean, you somehow made it work just charging that stupid destroyer.
Maybe that La Pampa didn't actually expect a charge. Like he killed the Bismarck with these torps, so maybe they weren't actually fired at him.
True.
But then
Or
again,
maybe-
he knew the Libertad was there, so I would definitely hold my torps and expect that charge.
Or maybe he thought that Krunk was going to turn out and turn away, because that's what most battleship players would do when they see the smoke and the destroyer in the smoke, right? Either way, whatever.
Yeah, I can't wait to play this ship next patch.
I mean,
Or
the fact that you
grind
guys,
towards it. I still have to do that on this.
yeah, you guys won this so easily. If it's dumb but it works, right? I know. And the fact you guys did this so easily, despite having an AFK, is just wild. I mean, it was an AFK at Edinburgh anyway, so whatever. But wow. This thing, I bet, is probably ridiculous in mode shuffle, too.
Probably. Imagine that in arms race with passive heal, damage buffs, reload buffs.
I was just thinking that. I was literally just thinking that. In ranked, it's a bit much. Yeah, I know. I've run into enough. So I'm in Silver League right now, so I've run into the 8s and 9s. And Los Andes is wild at tier 9.
While it's technically weak to torpedoes, it's actually not that easy to torpedo these ships because they're so fast and so maneuverable for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and don't forget they do have the baked-in engine boost, right, or the propulsion.
They have the baked-in engine boost. They have excellent rudder shift time. They have good turning circle. Like, they literally got everything.
Yep.
Except for the hydro.
I was trying to find what happened to this Vea here. Let's back up a bit, or not that far. See, this is the fun thing about this replay render tool, is if you try to like. This is just OBS controlling it. Like literally, I move it to someplace and then it keeps restarting. If I move it a little bit farther, then it goes way too far. It's only missing hydro and torpedoes. Yeah, it doesn't need the torpedoes as much as the Schlieffen uses, right? But hydro would really help this ship, but at the same time, that's even too much.
If you give this ship a hydro and a torpedoes, then the Schlieffen is completely obsolete.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, some people would argue that the Schlieffen is obsolete already. All right, there's the surveyor. He's already lost half. He took torpedoes.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. All right, good enough. Kronk, thanks for sending that replay in. That was ridiculous.